Welcome, everybody, to the Hire My VA Team and Business Building Podcast, where we help you to reclaim your freedom through hiring and thriving with virtual assistants without breaking the bank, breaking your bank. That's the most important bank. So I am Dave Braun, and I'm here with my good friend, Larry Broughton. He's my partner in all things coaching, fantastic business mentor. He's walking with me as a brother through life's ups and downs.
I'm walking you like I walk my dog Bodie. Yes, that's how I'm doing it, Dave.
Yeah.
Handsome Dave, how are you, my friend?
Say hi, Larry.
Hello. Hi, Larry.
Hi, Larry.
Hi. Dave, what a week it's been, man.
Crazy. Like everything
good
else.
Yeah, in a lot of good ways. So thanks for being on the journey with me. I think we're gonna have a good talk this week.
Yeah. So this is a really good question.
Okay.
And there's a lot more into it than you might think if you're going to do this right. Okay. So here's the question: how to recognize team members. In other words, what are the best ways to recognize a team member? And it goes deeper into that. So really, I think in this podcast with this subject about recognizing team members, we're going to break it down into 3 different ones because there's a lot of subtleties that I think people don't understand. And that we've come to learn through all of the experience that we've got. So the 3 parts are, number 1, and we're going to talk about it in this one, is ways to recognize and reward team members. All right.
And by the way, Dave, when we talk about recognize, I'm not like, oh, you're Dave, you're Larry. No, we're talking about recognize them for a job well done.
Yes.
There you go. Okay.
Yep. So number 1 is this part is going to be, we're going to talk about the ways to recognize, as Larry said, and reward team members. Number 2, the second part, we'll figure out the best way for a particular team member, how to determine that, because there's differences between how people perceive that recognition. And then number 3 is how often do you want to recognize team members? Okay. So we're going to go, this is part 1. So let's talk about the different ways to recognize and, of course, reward team members. Okay.
Yeah.
And
we've been, go ahead, Dave. I'm sorry.
No, I was
step on you.
Nope. Keep going. Go ahead.
I was going to say that, we've talked about this over the years and found that, both you and I think work well if we have acronyms or acrostics and those kind of things. It's a great learning and teaching method. So I would encourage people, if you're trying to figure out ways to teach your team, what's an acrostic or what's an acronym that you can use to help get the message out. Well, the one that we came up with over the years is called MITER, M-I-T-E-R, when it comes to recognizing and rewarding your team members. And this is not the one I came up with. This is one that you came up with, as I recall. I can't take credit for this, but I remember. Yeah, you brought this. You're the one who came up with this, right?
Yeah, in our victory program where we help entrepreneurs get to $1 million in their businesses and beyond.
Yeah. And so MITER, M-I-T-E-R, is broken down like this. The M for MITER is money or monetization, right? Money. We like that cash, right? I is for information or even intimacy, right? There's ways as we start talking about information, you'll see that. T, you're probably going to get this, is time, right? E is for energy. Sometimes I think about it as emotional connection as well. And R is for relationship and reputation. So MITER, money, information, time, energy, relationships, and reputation.
Right. Yeah. So shall we break that down a little bit more? What do you think?
I think we should try to do that. Yeah. Because money, for instance, is not just cash, right? So let's go ahead, Dave. I'll let you.
No, go tell us. Tell us more about that, Larry.
Well, I think that we use money because that's it's an easy way to remember it. But you got to think about, how do we monetize people's efforts? Now, okay, money, what was that? Well, it could just be cash bonuses or bonuses paid through payroll for a job well done. I think this is particularly important for some of our VAs who work in third world or developing countries like the Philippines, for instance, right? It doesn't take a lot of, when you do the dollar exchange rate, you give somebody a $20 bonus or a $25 bonus or a $100 bonus to somebody in the Philippines. And I was like, holy smokes. But if you give somebody who's earning, $200,000 a year, a $20 bonus, it's a much different, it's a lot different, right?
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
money does talk
it
oftentimes, and you can do
does.
that through bonuses, and both incentive bonuses, performance bonuses, holiday bonuses. There's a lot of ways to
Mhm.
do that. So that's one thing I would say. But let me just see if I can hit a couple of them, then maybe you can take over on a couple of them. For a
Sure.
more sophisticated organization, you can do things like profit sharing, both on projects and the profitability of the company. That's something you can do. In our hotel company, we do things like we give out gift cards for what we call rock stars each
Yeah.
week. If a team member's name is brought up at our company executive committee meeting, we send them a thank you note
Yeah.
and an actual
Perfect.
gift card.
That's
There are a
nice.
couple of things. What, you got a couple of ideas on that might fall into the money bucket?
Yeah, I mean, you can recognize their birthday or maybe
That's
an anniversary
We used to be
present.
really good at that, and that's one of the thanks for the reminder on that, Dave.
Yeah.
We used to be really good on that, and we've kind of slacked off during the past year. We need to start doing that again. That's
Yeah. Now,
good.
if you have a bigger organization and celebrating everybody's individual birthday, yeah, I don't know about that, but I mean, you could do like a monthly get together and just celebrate everybody's birthday from that particular
Mhm.
month. Just have a good time. You could give something to their family if you want.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning this before, and I don't know it was a podcast, maybe it was one of our masterminds, but I love that idea. Years ago, we used to do a thing. We used to give laptops to high school graduates. We did that. We
Ah,
did that one year,
that's a
and
cool thing.
yeah, particularly like for some of these folks who, um, you know, like our room attendants, for instance, who aren't getting wealthy off of what
Uh-huh.
they do, and they might be an immigrant family or something like that. That's a big deal,
Yeah.
right? So that was a big thing. So doing something for the family, I think, is really powerful. I'm glad that you brought that up. One of the things that we oftentimes do though is like tickets to sporting events or special events that are going on. Like these ice skating extravaganzas that go on,
Yeah.
or Disney on Ice is what I was trying to think of, or the Anaheim Ducks or Angels game. Those are fun.
Oh
They'll
yeah,
be nice.
those are fun. Then that creates a really nice memory too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Got other
mean,
ideas that fall on
yeah,
here?
you could help them open up like a savings account and say, families are important to us. We're gonna open up a savings account for maybe your son or daughter and throw in $50 as like an education account, so they can start saving towards a college education, something like that, right?
Yeah, that's a good one. Now, this might be an obvious for a lot of folks for a larger organization, but if you've got a 401k or a retirement program,
Uh-huh.
you can either set it up and either contribute as an organization or not, but talk about the importance of it. One thing that we did before we even set up a formal 401k program is that back then, before we had this, we used to bonus people $2,000. IRAs, there used to be a max of $2,000. I don't even know what it is right now, but we would bonus people, certain folks, $2,000 to put into their IRA account,
Yeah.
right? That's really powerful. Another thing that kind of comes to mind, Dave, as I'm noodling this, is that we would sometimes do contests or incentive programs where we give people paid time off, or we
Mhm.
might pay for their vacation or give them extra vacation days,
Right.
right? Those are always, that's not real money, but it's a monetized kind of
Mhm.
something going on in the organization. I can't think of the right word right now, but you get
Well,
the point.
yeah, if you're
It's worth money. It's worth something
yeah, if
tangible,
you're
right?
if you're yeah, if you're paying for a vacation or like a hotel stay or something like that, that's real money coming out of your
Yeah,
pocket.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah. So that's a really healthy list, I think, Dave, on the money or monetization side, which gets us to the I. Do you want to kind of take a first stab at the information side on this?
Yeah, there's a couple of things.
Uh-huh.
The first is you could depending upon who they are, you could get them like a Kindle preloaded with books that they will enjoy. Now there's some money aspect here, but this goes beyond money because you've put some thought into that and some of your time and energy, and giving them a way to give them more information. And it would be books maybe to help them do their job better, but it could be other things that they might enjoy. It could be just some fiction books that you like, or a particular author. So giving them that, that's one. Another would be you can purchase a training class for them. They're not that expensive. You can go to Udemy, or there's plenty of places.
Skillworks, all kinds of.
Yeah, Linda, it just doesn't cost that much. You can buy them training class, or what you can do is you can ask them and say, hey, as part of one of the benefits of working here, we want you to improve yourself. Being growing and learning more is so important in our organization and our culture that every quarter we're going to pay for you to take some kind of a training class. So give us 3, whatever you're interested in. Now, if you're paying for them to take something that's directly related to the business, well, that may not feel like a reward or a recognition. Do something that they may want to learn.
Well, listen, Dave, I think the Gallup State of the American Workforce Survey would disagree with you on that. And that the reason most people leave an organization is because they feel like they're not being professionally developed.
Yeah.
Right. And so I do think that people say, most people want to do a good job for you. They want to contribute. And so if you can help them become a better team member, a better player, a better leader in the organization, they want that. And so of course we do that. But, Melissa, my assistant in the hotel company and then the coaching companies, like she has an interest in photography. We had a need to have some photos taken. So we paid for her to take, start taking photography classes. Well, now she's so into it that she's paying for it on her own, and she's becoming a much better photographer. Right. So, and so it benefits her as a hobby, and it benefits us as an organization by her taking some photos for us from time to time.
She took some headshots of me too.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that I'm using all over the place. They're very good. She did great.
Yeah. There you go.
So that's kind of like the information. Larry, why don't you jump into the time part of it?
Well, time, I think I kind of set part of it up in the last one, is that like giving people extra time off. I think that's what's really helpful here with time, is that time is one of those things we can never get back. Right. So I'm going to put it like an exclamation point on this. Particularly, I would encourage folks to say, hey, your love life, your romantic life, your family life, your friend life is really important. So take this extra day off in conjunction with a weekend, so you can really get time away. That's something to do. Oftentimes, Dave, professionally, we have weight on our shoulders because we have all these projects, that we're working on. Another way to give people time is, you're really good at this, Melissa's good at this, is you say, hey, what can I take off of your plate? Or can I help you on this to help you get this across the finish line, right? Oh my gosh, there's so much value in that, right? So think about someone who's they're a great team player, but they're just feeling that extra burden because they have the project. Can you deploy some extra effort or energy from someone else? Or maybe this is you as the leader, to say, hey, what can I do to help you with this project, to help you get it across the finish line? And it might be a personal project. It might be a professional project. I don't know. But I think offering to help them is a good way.
Yeah. And a great example of that is Brian on our team. He does I think it's every December that he will do what he calls an ARC project. I can't remember what it stands for, but the idea is that they give a lot of money to, not money, they buy some Christmas presents and food and stuff for those less fortunate over in the Philippines. And for me to contribute a little bit of money to that, what that does is that saves him time and effort and energy in him not having to go out and raise as much from other people.
Yeah.
So we're saving him a lot of time. And plus, that just cements our relationship together. He knows that I care about him and what he's trying to get accomplished.
Yeah, I like that. Another thing I like that I've heard, we've not done this in our organization, or
Yeah.
that I can think of, but I have heard organizations doing this where they give people work time off to
Yeah.
volunteer or work on
Mm.
pet projects that they really like, right?
Yeah.
Um, that would be something interesting to consider. By the way, before we get too far into this, I just want to, hey, if you've got ideas, folks, right? I'd love to hear from you. You put a comment,
Absolutely.
send us a note. I'd love to hear what you're doing. I love learning from these podcasts and getting feedback from people as much as I do like to talk, believe it or not, but, and I like to share ideas. I kind of consider Dave and I to be aggregator of ideas and disseminator of what other folks are doing. But, I'd love to hear what you're doing as well. So, anyway, I'd heard of a Silicon Valley organization that gave people time off to volunteer or to work on a pet project inside of the organization. So that's time as well. Do you have other ideas on the time one before we move on to the next one, Dave?
Yeah, I think the last one is, playing. There's Bodie.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. But playing games. One of the things that we've done, and it helps, bring us closer together as a team, but just having a little bit of time to play games.
Yeah.
That's assuming one of your team members like to do that. So Daff on our team, she loves to play games. And so I'll have her go find something online that we can all play. The last one we did was something where we picked like a phrase on a cup or something, and it led to okay, is this personality you? And we just had some fun with it, and she really enjoys that.
Yeah, I like that. Well, the next one brings up is the E in MITRE, and that's energy, right? And I've made mistakes in this area before that I've shared on this podcast before. This is where you've got to put some effort into publicly praising folks. They say praise in public, criticize in private, right? And this goes for both your team members and your clients, right? When it's appropriate, right? But you want to make sure that when you're praising people publicly, that they get a rise out of this, that they get energy out of this, that they want it, right? When you shine the light on someone who they want to stay in the shadows, it can actually backfire on you. So you have to actually know your audience when it comes to this one on energy and emotional fuel for your team members.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I think also another one that you mentioned is helping them get something over the finish line.
Yeah.
Well, you're spending your time. We put that in the time category, but it does cross over into, you're giving some of your mental energy, which, it's a fixed amount, right? We're not,
for sure.
We're limited, right? So I think that crosses over there. That's a good one. And then I think the last category in the MITRE is R for relationships, / reputation. And what do you think about that, Larry?
This is one of my favorites, to be honest with you, because I love seeing people become better versions of themselves, including me, right? And you only do that by letting people take on bigger roles than they're currently in. You set them up with situations, opportunities, and projects where people can actually grow. That helps them grow and get better, helps the organization grow and become better. And sometimes that's actually, maybe having to take on a larger role when it comes to dealing client interfacing, right? This might be someone who never interacts directly with a client, and now you're going to give them that opportunity to do that. Okay. So I love that part of it. And then this kind of ties into one of the things we were talking about earlier, but introducing them to people who are going to help them accomplish their goals as well, right? And this helps. So they're building relationships, and it improves their reputation in the organization, in the industry, among family members, right? Because when this happens and they go and they feel like they've made a positive impact, guess what they do? They go home and tell loved ones about it, right? And I'm a big believer to think people are always watching. Particularly since I've been a father, I know my kids are always watching, right? And am I taking on something bigger? Am I expanding? Am I growing? Right. So helping team members expand in both their relationships and reputation, I think is so important, because they end up becoming better humans, for crying out loud. And isn't that a great thing?
Oh, that's one of the things that we want to see people fulfilling their potential, right?
Right.
And you know, that's the best way to you know, create really loyalty on your team.
Yeah.
It's going to help your organization grow. It's going to help you serve your clients better by
sure.
building up your team members. And this
For
whole recognition part of it, especially this last part, is like introducing people to help them accomplish their goals, letting them take a bigger role. That works all synergistically together. It does.
Yeah. So Dave, I try to throw this in every podcast, and whether it's the Hire My VA program that we offer or the Victory program, one of the most powerful components of both these programs is the community and the interaction that we get from these podcasts. You know, I love seeing the emails that come in or the comments that are made. So if you've got ideas on this, I'd love to hear your ideas on it.
For sure.
If you've got a challenge, opportunity, idea that you're struggling with or you're excited about, go to the community, share that, let each other, let us all kind of help you with that. And we're all on this journey together, right? We're all trying to find freedom. So let's share in the process.
Absolutely. So folks, as you're thinking about recognizing folks, ways to do it, remember MITRE.
Yes.
Money, information, time, energy, relationship / reputation. Yep. Remember that. Be a little bit creative in that. And like Larry said, give us your thoughts. We'd love to, because we're always looking for new ways to recognize and reward, you know, our team members as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So go for it. Well, all right. Shall we put a bow on this one?
Let's do it.
Remember, this is part 1. So parts 2 and 3 are coming up next. But we're going to end this today, and thank you all for being part of it. And remember, building a team is the way to reclaim your freedom, and we're here to help you. So 3 things again, we'd love for you to do for us. And we really, you know, we really do appreciate it. All right. So subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already done so. That's number 1. Number 2, give us a rating or leave a comment below this video thinking about ways to reward or recognize your team members. Put any comment, maybe something that's worked for you or hasn't worked for you, but do that for us. And then number 3 is go to HireMyVA.com for more information on our course. And as Larry talked about, our great community, because remember, even without experience, you'll learn how to prepare for, hire, and thrive with virtual assistants. We just want to help as many folks as you can, help as many folks as we can. And we want you to help others as well. Pass along some of the information that you're learning from us, right? So, but to help you do that, got to be part of our course and community. To do that, go to HireMyVA.com for more information on that. Sounds good?
Sounds great. Hey, I'm going to encourage you folks, stop chasing success. You will just find your life empty and hollow, but instead play a significant role in the lives of your family members and community. Okay. Do yourself a favor. Do something significant today. My friends, God bless you. God keep you. God hold you. All right. Go get them. We'll see you later.
Bye everybody.
See you later.